There has been rampant speculation online saying that the Leafs need to trade for a new goaltender this offseason, and this name has been topping most lists. Also, William Nylander is set to star in the new Amazon docuseries, following some of the top NHL stars in the entire league, and we're gonna break all this down for you coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we get into it, we gotta say that 79% of you guys watching these videos aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you're trying to keep up to date on everything happening around the Leafs, around the hockey world, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's go right into the first topic of the video today, which is UC Saros to Toronto. And yes, there has been a lot of people talking about a potential UC Saros trade for the Toronto Maple Leafs, saying that it could maybe solve most, of not all, the issues that the Toronto Maple Leafs dealt with this year. Obviously, they had some shaky goaltending to start the year. Then, Samsonov came back, played very well, and Joseph Woll played solid throughout the year when he wasn't injured, but there was a lot of injuries in the crease, which may have diminished Toronto's chances at getting any further than they did this season. And a lot of people saying they should be going after UC Saros, and as we see here in this article, they say the Toronto Maple Leafs need to make UC Saros trade now. And as we go further into this article wrote by editor in the Leaf here, they do say that UC Saros is the guy that the Toronto Maple Leafs should go after if they're looking to trade for a goaltender. As they say here, Saros played over 60 games this season, which shows that, he had a pretty full plate this season in Nashville and was fairly healthy throughout this season. Also, we say he has a career 917 save percentage, and Ilya Samsonov's career save percentage is only 902, so you're getting a more capable goaltender here, a guy who's proven to shut it down night to night, on the nightly basis, even on a team like Nashville, who doesn't have the star power like a team like the Toronto Maple Leafs do, so we could see him maybe even be better with the Toronto Maple Leafs next season, especially if Brad Treliving and the Leafs see fit to go after more defensive defensemen this offseason. And they do put up a hypothetical trade scenario here. They do say Toronto Maple Leafs should be prepared to pay anything short of Mitch Marner or Matthew Knies, Easton Cowan to make this happen. And that only makes sense. I mean, you're getting such a high, valuable goaltender here, so it only makes sense that Nashville would get high value in return for UC Saros. Yes, he has 1 year left on his deal, but, that may play a factor into this as well. But, these are the type of value that you're going to look. Are you going to go out and give away Easton Cowan for UC Saros? No, just because of the year he's had. It's been good, and the rumor mill around Mitch Marner is still pumping daily. So, maybe this is something they look at as well for him to, maybe a trade for UC Saros and Mitch Marner, which I think would be good for both sides here. And they also say first round pick Fraser Minton and Topping Niemela. Just a thought. I don't know what the Predators would want, and there aren't that many trades of an elite goalie to go by. And yes, because once you have an elite goaltender, I mean, you stick with him for years. That's just the way it's been in the NHL for a long time. We've seen it with Carey Price. We've seen it with all these goaltenders. So that's the type of value I'm putting in it. I think it's a great thing here because, Toronto doesn't really need their first round pick this year. So if they trade a first round pick, a top prospect like Fraser Minton, yes, you are giving a lot away, but he's not as valuable as a guy like Easton Cowan, a guy who you want to stick around for the long term, and Topping Niemela, a guy who's been playing great with the Marlies this season. And I think this is a trade that I would like to see. I don't think Mitch Marner needs to go in a deal for UC Saros when they have so many prospects that they could deal out. Any first-round pick, which has a lot of value in this trade market. And with his deal expiring and stuff like this, it just makes sense for that to happen. And as they say here, basically what I was saying, he is a pending UFA, so, he only has a $5 million cap hit. So he said, I can see how getting that one cheap year might skyrocket his value. And yes, you are going to get him in at $5 million, which is saving a lot of money for the Toronto Maple Leafs if they do see to go out and get UC Saros, and that saves money that they can spend elsewhere to shore up this blue line, maybe get a bottom middle six, couple of forwards with this money as well. I think that just makes a lot of sense, and it does, with him only having such a cheap cap hit, it really does seem like this value may go up just a tiny bit. It's not a lot where it's going to go from a Fraser Minton value to an Easton Cowan value, but I think that's around the range where they're probably looking. If Nashville's saying, hey, we want to kind of get some players for the future here, maybe they go after Minton and Topping Niemela. But if they say, we want a player for now, then that is when we will see Mitch Marner thrown in the mix here. Do I think there will be a first-round pick involved if Mitch Marner is in the deal? I hope not, because that would just be way too much value going to Nashville's side, in my opinion. But it is an interesting option because, I mean, all Leafs fans, and I've seen you guys talk in the comments a lot on these videos saying how the Toronto Maple Leafs goaltending has been lackluster. They've never really had a number one goaltender since maybe Cujo or Ed Belfour, and that can be frustrating, especially every year you're kind of saying, hey, we don't have that number one goalie that's gonna show out for us in the playoffs that we know can make a deep run for us. And I think UC Saros is that guy, and I wouldn't be shocked if they do go after him. But we're going to get into the second topic of the video today, which is Nylander starring in Docuseries. And yes, as we've seen here today from the Hockey News, they did say that Maple Leafs William Nylander among NHL stars to be featured in new Amazon Docuseries. I mean, this is going to be fantastic. It's great for William Nylander. He has the style for it. It's going to be nice to see a deep dive into William Nylander, what his mindset's like. We did get a little teaser here from what the documentary is about. It says it goes into the life of the hockey player, deep interviews, following them throughout the entire season, and into the postseason, their life outside of hockey and stuff like that. So it'll be nice to see that side of William Nylander, because we already know William Nylander is a fun guy, and I think seeing that shown in a documentary, it would be really fun as well. And I think it's great just for, Toronto Maple Leafs fans. Obviously, they had that All or Nothing documentary, which was great, and we're seeing more and more of these documentaries come out where, like, we've seen the World Cup captains for soccer, we've seen, the football quarterback one, and now we're finally getting one for hockey, and I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a fun watch, and I'm definitely really excited for this documentary. And just some other stars that are in this. We see Connor McDavid, Matthew Tkachuk, David Pastrnak, Jacob Trouba, Jeremy Swayman, Jack Eichel, Philip Forsberg, and Gabriel Landeskog. I mean, those are some big names on the list to have in this documentary. I mean, getting inside the mind of the best player in the world, Connor McDavid, is going to be fun to watch as well. But for you Leafs fans, I mean, following William Nylander around for a whole season is really going to be fun. And in the teaser that they dropped today, he described his contract negotiations over, last season as a tough time. So they got that interview talking about how his contract negotiations went, how he was feeling during that, and obviously having a career year, putting up multiple 10-plus point streaks. So that is really going to be fun to see his whole thoughts on that as well. And I'm really excited for this documentary because, I mean, I'm a big documentary guy when it comes to the world of sports. I think they're just fantastic to watch. I mean, some soccer ones that I've watched, I mean, Attack on Wembley, the captains of the World Cup, they've all been phenomenal. And if Amazon can do this and portray this in the way of the hockey world, I think it's going to be a really good one to watch. And especially, getting into the mind, like I've said multiple times here, of William Nylander, seeing what deep connections he has within the locker room, what the whole team dynamic is in the locker room is going to be fun to see. And you're going to try kind of get a peek behind the curtains of the Toronto Maple Leafs, which I love. I think hearing his interview talking about about his contract extension is going to be fun, and just seeing, how these players, not just William Nylander, but all these guys, what their day-to-day life is outside of the rink. I think it's going to be fun to kind of peek behind the curtains a little bit and see, how these players live, what they do to get ready for games and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a fun one. Starring William Nylander, it's weird kind of that, they picked Nylander and not Austin Matthews, but I think Nylander just has that personality and stuff like that. I think that's why they went for him. Obviously, Willie Styles, his style is off the charts, so I think it's going to be great, and I'm really excited for it. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the docuseries, on the UC Saros trade down below in the comment section. Love to hear from your guys. What are your guys' thoughts on it? Let me know down below. Look forward to reading your guys' comments. But we're going to get in everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today actually goes to Ron. Ron says, I assume he will be in camp in September. He's talking about Easton Cowan here, and I would bet my house on Easton Cowan being at camp in September, just after the season he's had, after all the accolades he's won. It only makes sense for them to bring him over in camp, get a few games in the preseason, see if he can handle that, and then moving forward, we may see him, have those first 4 games like Fraser Minton did last season, and if he stands out there, then I think we will see him going forward. And if I was a betting man, I would definitely say that Easton Cowan makes the opening night roster next year, just because he's such a phenomenal player. His improvement from year to year, we keep talking about it here on the channel. It's just exceptional, and he will definitely be in camp in September. So look forward to that, because it's going to be fun to see. It's going to be a fun offseason. I really appreciate your support on the video, Ron. Love seeing all your guys' comments down there. So, take a break from the video, go down below, comment something. You might be featured on the next comment of the day. While you're down there, hit that like button. It helps push these videos out to all the hockey fans, and really appreciate it. If you're enjoying these videos, subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be here every day talking hockey. And if you want a place to join us and listen to hockey talk every day, you found the right place here at Hattrick HQ. And if you want to check out a video myself and my co-host Mark I did last night, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, Casey. Keep your stick on the ice.